you cannot just think about your software as a standalone software, because your software's medical device is just one piece within the whole healthcare ecosystem. And if you want to be successful, you have to integrate with other systems. Like, for example...
All right, we're live. So our guest today is Weronika. She is the principal software as a medical device lead at HDD Health. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Harsh. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be here today with you.
And you're based in Barcelona?
Correct. Based in Barcelona, sunny Barcelona, Spain.
Right. I just visited there a few months ago for the CPHI conference, and I loved it.
Did you?
Yes.
It's a beautiful place.
It is. I didn't get to see much because obviously when you're at a conference, I was just tired of walking, and all I wanted to do at the end of the day is just get some takeout and go to bed. But it's a great city. I would love to come back and explore more some other time.
Definitely. And whenever you come, just let me know. I will be your guide, as there's so many places to see there in Barcelona. So I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. So before we go into the technical topics, which I'm sure a lot of people want to hear from you, given your expertise in this space, can you let us know a little bit about what is your role at like HDD Health? Like, what do you actually do? Maybe your bread and butter projects that you work on.
Definitely. So at HDD Health, I am software as medical device practice lead and digital health principal. So my main responsibilities are to oversee all of the Sandy projects at HDD Health to ensure that our teams are working accordingly to our SOPs, our procedures. Also ensure that we really provide the highest quality of work, of services for our clients, ensuring that clients are happy and clients are receiving, let's say, are successful, because our clients and partner success is our partner success. Additionally, I was also leading the whole team together with our quality assurance lead during our last year and our efforts preparing for ISO 13485 as audit. And we got the certification, so we are very happy for that. So the company is ISO 13485 certified. So it's kind of like a proof for us that our services are high quality. So I also serve our clients, our partners with any consulting areas, let's say. So if they have any questions regarding medical device strategy, I'm there to support. Also, when it comes to technical strategy in medtech space and in digital health space. As myself, my whole career, I've been in medical device industry and in digital health space.
That's great. So I know you mentioned medical device strategy and working with clients. So I don't work much in medical devices. I do have certain people in my network who are way more experienced than I have, but my career has mostly been in pharma and biotech. But to ask you the question here is, do you get clients who are like in the early stages of development, and especially the question is around how do they know if they're working or they're trying to build a medical device or a software as a medical device? So where's that line, and how do you help clients figure out how to work with many companies?
So Harsh, actually, that's a great question, because we work with many different types of organizations, and the bigger ones like enterprise partners, they have their quality teams and regulatory teams. So they have that figured out. But if there is a startup or entrepreneur that we work with, because we support many startups and entrepreneurs that have brilliant ideas, but not always are sure about whether their software is actually a medical device. So we can also help them with that, as we have a team of like quality team that can definitely support with that. But as a rule of thumb, what we can say is that the software, to be a software's medical device, must serve medical purpose, like without actually being a medical device hardware itself. So this medical purpose is to diagnose, treat, prevent, monitor any disease or a health condition. So let's imagine, for example, you have a fitness app on your phone. everybody can just go on the like App Store and download some fitness applications that will just, for example, show you how many calories you burned or how many steps you do, etc. But they don't actually diagnose you or they don't treat you. So this is just a regular fitness or wellness application. But a good maybe example could be even an Apple Watch that I have here on myself. This is actually a class 2 medical device. And the application that would, for example, use data from class 2 from this Apple Watch and would diagnose you whether you have arrhythmia, heart arrhythmia, or would tell you that, hey, your heart rhythm is not good, please see the doctor, then it would fall under medical devices. So what is important to think about is this intended use, right? So actually writing down the intended use and clarifying clearly, as you know, what is the main purpose of our software that we want to build. And then we take it from there, because intended use also drives whether it's class 1, class 2, class 3 medical device. And then based on that, we will do different activities during the design and development.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting space, because like medical devices development has also come a long way. 20-30 years back, we didn't have that many devices that were sending data over the cloud into a portal or a dashboard or a computer of that sort. But today, if you go to any hospital or like any medical setting, there's a lot of different, I don't know, I'm not a doctor or physician, but I can see there's a lot of devices where the data is being pushed or into a medical record or something of that sort. So yeah, it's a very interesting space. Yeah. So what is in when you're working with clients in this software as a medical device space, what is the one challenge that you're seeing, one of the main challenges you're seeing frequently?
Oh, there are many. If I had to actually just choose one, that could be hard. But let's see, like maybe I will tell you a little bit about like different ones, but then focus on one, because so for sure, like what you also mentioned, like data integration. So not thinking about interoperability and scalability, that's the challenge, because you cannot just think about your software as a standalone software, because your software's medical device is just one piece within the whole healthcare ecosystem. And if you want to be successful, you have to integrate with other systems. Like, for example, big buyers like hospitals, they prefer products that can adapt and grow with their needs and not just be standalone. So that is one thing. Then the other would be neglecting actually user needs and usability. Also forgetting about human factors. So when you create a software as a medical device, it's not just about creating beautiful application, but you have to remember that at the end is a patient, and we have to remember about patient safety. So following standards like usability, engineering standard, remembering human factors to actually create the software that is not only intuitive, nice for the user, easy to use, but also safe to use. So like patient-centric, human-centered design is very important. And maybe one more thing that I can mention is lack of knowledge maybe and disorganized documentation on how to actually document everything. And then also like some of the organizations, they think when they think about medical device, they think that you can only develop medical device software following waterfall methodology, but that's actually not true, because you can be agile and you can be compliant, but it really requires lots of knowledge and know-how. So I would say like these are the main three challenges.
Yeah, those are great ones. And as you were explaining that, I was thinking about, like you said, having a software as a medical device that just doesn't work well on itself, but works well with other softwares. And there's big players in this space, in the medical device, medical equipment space, and there's newer startups that are coming in. So, and then you also mentioned about training, which is another point, because if you're developing a medical device for a patient who it's I don't know how to explain it in a nice way. Maybe you'll get my point. But if the patient is using that device just for one single function, then you need probably more training because they don't have a medical background, versus if you're just replacing an older device with a new one for a big hospital and a physician is using, they can probably figure it out on their own without reading your training inserts and whatnot, right? But at the end of the day, it still has to be designed easy to use. So, and it takes a lot of effort. Like you had mentioned an example of Apple. They've designed a phone that is easy to use, and many people love it versus other phones. Uh, but there's a lot of thinking that goes into designing something simple and effective.
Oh yeah, definitely agree. And also when we think about actually a big issue in the healthcare, I can say like patient engagement, right? So it's one thing to design something, but then it's another to actually make the patient to use it and to want to use it, because it's not just about creating another app that they will have on their phones, but actually making them to see the value in there. And then if we get more engagement, then we also can get more data. And then based on this data, we can also create more personalized treatments for patients. So then patient outcomes will be also better. So it's like a chain, let's say, of things. But again, designing the software, like well thought software application, with again remembering about patient safety, it's crucial.
Yeah, and for any medical device or medtech clients who are listening to this, if they're looking to build a software as a medical device or design a product, what can you share with them about some tips of choosing the right partner to develop, right? Like, do you have a checklist, or here's the 5 things you need to look for when you're choosing a development partner?
Another great question, Harsh. Choosing great development partner is not easy because there are many different players in the space. But what I would really recommend is to think, what are the resources that you don't have in-house? What is the expertise that you don't have in-house? And look for a partner that would have that. Also, what I would really recommend is that you check somebody that they have experts in-house. For example, you have a great hardware device, but you don't have software engineers. So you are looking for a software partner. Check also their references. Check whether they have in-house team. Check even the ISO certification, for example, just to know whether they actually even know the standards. Also, what I would really highlight is the importance of transparency and communication. Like, it's very important to have this development partner as a kind of extension of your team, to feel that you are partnering. You're not just like giving them requirements. Please create software for me, and we see each other in half a year, because it doesn't work like that. That development partner must be kind of part of your team and really care about your success. So I would say really pay attention to like their know-how, their team, what kind of team members they will bring in, and also check what kind of projects they've done in the past.
Yeah, it's a not only just in software as medical device, but also in general life sciences industry. This advice can apply to pretty much a lot of areas, because that's the challenge, right? Like at what phase, or depending on where the company is and what kind of bandwidth or resources they have, it's this decision they have to make of, should we do this in-house, or should we outsource, or should we do a mix of both, right? Like, there's pretty much 3 ways to go about it. There isn't a right or wrong answer. It just depends, on each company, and like you mentioned, understanding what their strengths and weaknesses are, right? And then maybe finding somebody where you have a weakness, or you don't have a person with that knowledge. So, and what are the trends you're either seeing in this space, or what do you think is going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years in software as medical device?
I'm very actually excited about the future, because I do see a lot of progress in many different aspects, and everybody is talking about AI, all right? So I cannot skip that either. Even today I read about that government, like in UK, there will be like a new roadmap to think about standards for developing AI as a medical device. So not software as a medical device, but AI as a medical device, which is kind of like a subset of software as a medical device. I found it very interesting because I do think that AI is like everywhere, AI, ML, right? And we should think about using it in the right way because I do think it can help us to improve like efficiency and healthcare just worker support. It can improve diagnostic capabilities, analyzing patient data, streamlining clinical processes. And also it's great to see that FDA is also thinking about AI and is like releasing new guidances about AI and the use of it and the development of this kind of software. So I would say that like AI will for sure play a big role. But also what I'm seeing is that the like traditional medical device companies are also expanding beyond their core businesses. What I mean by that is that they don't only just create hardware device and that's it, but they also now start to think about software. How could we even enhance patient experience? Example, you have a hardware company that, for example, develops deep brain stimulation for patients or pacemakers for patients. So what they can do is they can create like companion application that will be patient facing and will, for example, support patient throughout their care journey. Will also gather some data and analyze the data to improve the patient care. Also some planning platforms that would have additional, let's say, applications. So I would say that now medical device companies are also thinking about ways how could they even have a better connections with patients through software. And that also just helps them to diversify their offerings, expand healthcare services, and also just maybe even thinking about new reimbursement strategies and ways how to improve that. So I would say that now everybody also is going like more into patient-centric solution, which is great because we do have to remember about the patient.
Yeah, and definitely AI, like you mentioned, is a great trend to watch for. It's already happening now, and in the next 5 and 10 years, it's gonna be even more. And from what I've seen in life sciences and using mostly I work with clients who have software as a service or SaaS systems with some AI features, or they're interested in just a purely AI solution or building an AI model. But the biggest challenge, like with AI, is risk management, right? So that area is still, even without AI, we're as an industry, we have challenges with properly managing the risks. So I just feel like AI is going to add another layer of complexity. So for us as an industry, whether it's medtech or software as a medical device or life sciences, if we are serious about like incorporating AI into our workflows, we need to be better risk managers or risk assessors. So that's kind of my take from where I see it, and it's very interesting and exciting to be working in life sciences right now.
Yes, fully agree. It's very exciting, but also challenging, right? Because what you mentioned that we really have to think about AI because like it's like AI is learning. The more data it gets, the more information it gets, the better, let's say, it becomes. But you have to also like think about whether like over time the intended use, for example, of the device will not change because AI will come up with something new. So to your point, risk management is crucial and we have to, it's not just like tick the box activity, but it's continuous activity throughout the whole just product life cycle and on the product of the device. But excited about the future and what it brings.
Yeah, yeah. And do you get people asking you on whether on LinkedIn or when you meet people in at conference or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, how can somebody get into this space? Like think about where you were 5 or 7 years ago in the industry and where you are today. What advice do you want to give to somebody who's trying to enter this industry?
Our medtech industry?
Yes, yes.
Yes, so our medtech industry, I would say just learn as much as you can, but read many like different, let's say, articles from respected, let's say, sources. There are some courses, certificates that you can learn. Of course, the best thing is to practice, just to have a hands-on experience, to maybe find a mentor. Maybe find a mentor like an expert in medical device space that have many years of experience and could actually help you to upskill. And as I do believe that this is very important. As myself, I do have a mentor and I do have a coach, and that helped me a lot throughout my career. Also, just listening a podcast like yours, Harsh, I do think it's a great idea and great way to learn, because you can listen to people that are actually doing the industry work, that are experts. So I would highly recommend just listening to podcasts like yours to learn more. And just never give up, because medtech industry is not easy. So it won't be an easy ride. It's very exciting, right? But there are some challenges and obstacles. And we in the medtech industry, we have to continuously learn, because there are like new things like AI, new regulations, new guidances. So we have to stay on top of that. But this makes it very interesting. And also when you just think about the end user, patient, and that thanks to your work, you can actually save or improve people's life. It's just great.
Yeah, I mean that's the North Star for most people working in the industry. That's what drives them. That's what pushes them. And also, you mentioned about this podcast as a medium of content, and that's true, right? Because when I look back, when I started this podcast, like there wasn't really a big goal or a big intention. Like, yeah, I had a consulting business and I had clients, but it was just like I was talking to so many interesting people offline, with whether it's like a coffee chat or just a meeting, and then I would ask them all these questions to learn more about their space, and then I would get somebody message me and ask me that same question, but I had heard a better answer from another expert. So I was like, wait, I just talked to X, Y, and Z, and they actually had a really good take on this topic. So that's how the idea for me was, how about I just merge this? Like, how about I ask questions that I was anyways going to ask and just throw it out there. If somebody wants to listen and go in, there is content there, because I'm sure you get a lot of these questions every week in and out, right? Like whether it's clients or whether it's other consultants in your network asking you. So yeah, so it's great. Yeah, we're lucky to have how easy it is to start something like this and distribute content. So that's definitely exciting.
And it's great because you bring a lot of value for the community, So I bet lots of people learn from that.
Yeah, and it's not just about everyone learns from it, right? Like I'm learning as well, because sometimes I bring people for a topic and I have to actually prepare a lot to even ask them questions, because I have very limited knowledge in that topic, and I don't want to come, because there's this like sort of, you ask an expert who has a lot of, or maybe decades of experience, you don't want to ask them too simplistic questions, or if you're asking them, they need some context or they need to know where you're coming from. And it's a little bit challenging for me to go into those kind of episodes where I have no idea about what that topic is, and I have to actually learn so I can ask them good questions. So yeah.
Yeah, fully agree. But it's great that you're doing this.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward in 2024, and then any exciting projects that you're looking forward to, or any kind of projects you want to work on that you haven't got a chance to yet?
We are actually working on pretty many very interesting projects in like cardiology, in oncology, in also neuroscience, also diabetics. So this is like just great, like so many different therapies that we are working on, and just what you mentioned, like just working with different experts and having that like what I really love is that I kind of have a feeling that, hey, I am a part of this project and then I can contribute to that, which is exciting. So what I'm really looking for to 2024 is like just launching all of our projects and seeing how the patients are benefiting from that. And also looking forward to like some of the advancements, let's say, in the regulations from FDA regarding, again, AI, or even harmonizing QSR with ISO 13485 by end of this year. So let's see, lots of different things are happening. So very excited about this year and the upcoming years as well.
And for people who are listening to this or who want to connect with you, learn more about your role or what you're working on, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with me is just to reach out to me directly on LinkedIn. Just my name, Weronika Michaluk. And also feel free to check out our website where I post bi-weekly articles about software as medical device. And the recent article was actually about human factors and usability engineering. So highly recommend that. It's htdhealth.com. You can find lots of information about our company, and just feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. I'm more than happy to chat, to meet over the coffee, and discuss medtech.
Yeah, and share the link of that article so I can have that, my team drop that in the show notes of the episode, so people, because otherwise people will message me, oh, where's the link to the article she mentioned about? So it's like, make your life easy, make everyone's life easy. All right.
I will do so.
Thank you, Weronika. It's a pleasure. It was really nice talking to you. Wish you much success. And then let's stay in touch. If any way we can collaborate on any projects or be of help to each other, I would love to work with you and hopefully meet you someday when I'm in Barcelona.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Harsh.
you.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.